So we actually looked online at a few different listings and found some examples of listings on Airbnb that would maybe be the property looks fine, and I'm sure that people enjoy their stays there. They actually had good reviews, but their first picture uh, is not even close to the best picture of their property,
Right.
and or anything that would attract someone to clicking on it. So we're going to dive into that and kind of go over it a little bit so that you can see what we're talking about.
Yep.
Three, two, one.
So now we're going to get on to Airbnb and take a look at a few listings that I found that kind of caught my eye in a not so good way, and only because of the first picture that was shown. I just scrolled down through some random areas, and I was just looking for pictures that more or less made me feel like I wouldn't rent there. Um, and it is nothing to say bad about the property at all. I'm sure the properties are fine. It just was kind of a negative compared to the other properties that were on that page.
Right. Because when there's so many to look at, if the first picture doesn't draw you in, you're just going to keep going.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
this is an example of one of the searches I was looking at, and I came across, and here's a picture of four different condos or houses. I think actually they're all houses. Maybe one's an apartment.
Mhm.
Um, one of actually, or three of them are super hosts, so they must be doing something right.
Mhm.
However, I think we have a tale of three different pictures here. Um, the one that really caught my eye in not such a good way is the upper right corner. This strange fish tile that kind of looks like it has a human face on it. I don't know what's going on with that, and nothing about that makes me want to stop and stay there or look into staying there. Um, I would have just scrolled right past if I wasn't looking for examples like
Right. Because
this.
it doesn't tell you about the property at all.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, the picture right below it in the lower right corner, that one is a very inviting living space.
Mhm.
I would definitely stop and at least look at what that place has to offer, and consider staying there for
Mhm.
sure.
It's nice and bright. You can tell it's clean. It's well decorated. Not that I'm like super picky and everything has to be super, super current. But the older the stuff is, just because you're knowing how many years that it could have been there, it just feels dirty. I don't really want to sit on a couch that's been in a rental house for 20 years and had lots of different people on it. And this feels like everything's clean and relatively new and bright. And so automatically you're going to keep scrolling because it's already caught your eye.
Yes. So the other pictures, the lower left, that one, the 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 it has nice color and brightness to it. It's a
Mm-hmm.
good picture. I didn't ever even click on that, so I'm not sure anything more about that property. The upper left, although the room at least looks like it potentially would be a place I would stay, the lighting in the picture is poor, so it doesn't catch my eye. Um,
Right.
so that's a few things that we noticed just looking at these pictures right here. And what we're going to do is dive into one of them, which is this strange fish tile picture, and look at what other pictures they have to offer, um, and see what the property is more about.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the actual listing, and you can see the very first picture is that tile.
But the funny thing about that is the next, two pictures look amazing. I mean, it's very clean. They've clearly put very good care into choosing their decor. It is a well lit room. I would have no problem staying there, but you don't even know anything about it by that first picture. And so those next two pictures just really look like a great inviting place to stay.
So as we cycle through the pictures, it's fine. There is a kind of a strange wall here with a bunch of different Chinese checkers. I'm sure there's some significance to that. Um, but even that would be a better first picture than that weird fish thing. So as we look through the rest of these, it looks like a great place.
Yeah, it does.
Very nicely decorated bathroom.
Hmm.
Shows some outdoor space, the cooking area, and then it goes into some of the local attractions, which all look very nice, inviting.
Right.
I would stay there, but I probably would have never found the property if it hadn't been for me looking for sort of bad examples of first pictures.
Right. That picture does not tell me anything about the house, anything about the layout or what it offers, but or even how bright and cheery it is. So that is not a good example to start with.
So we'll move on to another place in a different location. This one, I'm not sure why it displays like this, but the very first picture was of this door and this brick wall. And although I'm sure there was nothing wrong with that, that's the picture they showed. I clicked on it again because I was looking for bad examples.
Mhm.
That is the picture they showed as their first picture on the page with their competition.
Right.
And I would have just passed right on by because there's so many other nice places.
Right. If there's 100 pictures and 50 of them show an inside picture um, like that one right there, you're gonna click on that because okay, this is a nice big inside. It's nice and bright. And an exterior picture, especially a picture like that, because it's presumably a condo or something that doesn't have a big front, it tells us nothing. In fact, these vaulted ceilings that I'm seeing, I would have never guessed that from that picture. And so, again, not that, and the exterior looked very well kept. I mean, it had the cute front porch, but not enough to make me click on it until we see her third, fourth, fifth, really all of her other pictures show that, oh yeah, this is very well decorated. It's nice and bright. It's, we could easily go in there. And I know you had mentioned the washer and dryer picture, like why they show a picture of the washer.
Yeah, I noticed the second picture on the page over here is just a close up of the washer and dryer.
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing to have a picture of the washer and dryer,
Right.
but I think that their picture order just needs fixed a little
That's
bit.
exactly right. Like for me, I love that washer and dryer picture, having been tricked before when we were out west, thought we were getting a washer and dryer in the unit. I'm frantically walking around the unit, checking every door that's locked to see if that is the washer and dryer room, and here it was just one on site. I love seeing that because I can see the shelf. I can see that they have laundry detergent on there. Like I know that's going to be in the unit. So it's great that they included it. I mean, granted, it's not the best picture of just a washer versus, or is it
That's the
the
dryer.
dryer, just the dryer versus both pieces. But I would not have made it my number 2 picture. It'd be down at the bottom because, like we talk about, you want to have a good description, positive of the house, and then the extras in the area. And so to me, that's almost like an extra. But it's, even if you consider it part of the house, which it is, it's not going to be my number 1 picture for sure.
Yeah, and I can see it, numerous pictures that would have been the better first choice.
Sure, because that's a gorgeous place.
This living
Very
room
nice.
is really inviting.
Mhm.
I would stay here if I would have seen, if I was traveling this area and I saw this, it would definitely be one I would consider staying at.
Yep, for sure.
So again, it just comes back to be aware of your first picture, what it is, what are you trying to show, and make sure that it is inviting and makes people want to stay rather than just scroll right on past.
Right.
So now we're going to look at another example. This one right here, I'm sorry, I have to back up. The very first picture they showed on the search page was this.
The problem here is that you can't even tell what anything is. It looks like they maybe even took it from their car just because the angle of it, it's very fuzzy, where they must not have been focused well. I can't tell anything about it. And so when you look at the next picture though, way different. It's taken during the day, it's nice and bright, it's a gorgeous, charming house. Even though I say that I'm not one to see the front of the house first, I would much rather see the front of the house first over the last picture. But then when you keep moving, look how great it is. I mean, super clean, well decorated. Um, I would definitely want to, it keeps you wanting to keep looking. And that first picture just does not do that. So again, make sure your first picture is the best picture. And there are always little things like that toilet seat should be down. That would look a little bit nicer. But I mean, that's my only complaint about the house. It looks great. And then we see this picture, which I think is like an artist drawing of the property. It looks much better than that first picture. And it makes me think that maybe this is like a really popular, area to go to. But it's the same picture as the first picture, only it's much brighter. Actually, easy to see. It's not blurry. And then I can actually tell from another picture that that is a movie theater at the end, which wasn't even something I could tell from that first picture.
Yeah, I guess the reason I selected this one as an example, I was confused. I'm scrolling down through, I'm seeing houses, bedrooms, living rooms, all these other things in this
Mhm.
area, and then I just see this weird like restaurant and club, or I don't
Mhm.
really even know what it is, but I know we talk about, if you need to feature like things in the area that people are coming for. I can't see people that are, this is the main attraction in the area.
Mhm.
Maybe it is, and again, I'm not familiar with the area, but that doesn't draw me in the way these pictures of the house would.
Well,
I would stay here seeing the house.
and the other thing too is that even if that is the attraction for the area, let's say that it is the XYZ complex.
Mhm.
If you're Google searching or Airbnb searching the XYZ complex, then you're going to know that it's there. So again, that's your end feature featuring the area, because there might be 40 other places around that are going to have that same, similar location. So that's why you want to make sure that your front picture for everyone searching all those areas is of what you're offering, not that particular um, area for entertainment or whatever.
All right, so we're gonna move on to another one here. This one, the very first picture that I saw out on the search screen was this picture of a pine tree with a swimming pool behind it
And lots of electric lines.
electric lines and some other building.
Mhm.
And I honestly was confused when I saw this. I didn't know what they were trying to show, why this was there significance of the pine tree. I didn't really know what was going on here.
Right. We
Um,
kind of thought maybe they were trying to show where it is in relation to their unit, but we're not
yeah,
even positive about that because I almost feel like they're standing on a road. I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know. It looks like there's a curb here. They're probably in a parking lot or
Yeah.
something.
Well, and the thing is, I feel like it's on a hill. So between that and the trees and the pool, it could be a great picture, but not at that angle.
And not being the first picture.
Right, exactly.
So as we cycle into the other photos, you're going to see it's a nice living space.
Mhm.
Really nice desk and living area here.
Mhm.
The bedroom. It would be a great place,
Yeah.
for a couples getaway type of place. Um,
Yeah, really clean lines.
Clean,
Very, yeah.
homey. Um,
And then this picture, again, we talked about in the description, you want to explain your property first and then the extras. Right there is your extras. We're talking about a desk, which a lot of people are working from home or working when they travel. So they're showing that they have that. They have games there, which is great because, like, sometimes you need something extra to do, and who wants to haul their own games? We'll take a pack of cards and that's about it. So they're showing they have that stuff, which is great. And that's something I don't think a lot of people put in their descriptions, but when you, especially if you're going to be staying somewhere for a week or so, that's nice to have. And they did a really good job by putting that in there.
yeah, I agree. Um, so then they have some more pictures of the area, which are totally fine. Here's one of the
Mhm.
pool, but kind of not. You see the pool, but not much of the pool.
Right. I think what it's showing you there too that is good is they're showing you like the patio furniture and the grills. But if they would get it at an angle that would show a little more of the pool as well, it would just really, show you what the place has to offer.
So, everything else is great about this, but again, it
Mhm.
comes back to that first picture again, and there are a lot better choices. I honestly probably wouldn't even show this picture at all, but um, definitely wouldn't have put it first.
Mhm.
So that just kind of gives you another example of what is kind of good and bad practices when you're setting this up to try to attract people, especially when you have competition. So here's the last one that we wanted to show you. This was the primary picture. I honestly, when I saw it, I thought it was a business.
Mhm.
It looked like maybe a store or a shop.
Right.
I I would have never guessed this is a place someone stays at. I probably wouldn't want to stay here by looking at this picture if I saw other competition. So as we click through, though, it is a nice property. I'm actually shocked this is inside there.
Mhm.
Um, it's decorated well,
Mhm.
uh, clean interior. It kind of looks cool.
Yeah,
I'd
it
hang out in this room. To me, it
Mhm.
has kind of a man cave type feel. I don't know, but it's definitely an inviting place
Right.
that you don't really get from that first picture. A lot of these pictures would have been a better choice, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because what from that outside picture of basically a pool building, you don't see the nice wood walls, you don't see the open, floor plan. The kitchen is really good size for that room. Like you miss all of that. So really, I would not start with the bathroom picture, but any of those interior pictures would be great. And then you can really see, wow, this is a really neat place versus what's it going to look like being what looks like a pool building. How is it going to look more like a shop inside or more like like an apartment or a place to
Yeah.
stay.
I even think here's another exterior picture. I think that this is actually more appealing than the first one. At least it shows you some outdoor space that you can use, a
Right.
grill, some chairs, a table.
Right, and it
Um,
shows they're supplying that too, so you can see exactly what it looks like. Okay, the grill goes here. I can fit a few pictures. Yeah.
but yeah, again, this picture probably isn't the one you should start off with.
Hmm.
So those are a few examples, and like I said, this is meant to be no disrespect for these property owners. They all look like great places to stay.
Right.
It's just a little critique on what your first picture is and how it can maybe affect maybe why you're not getting as much rent as you would hope
Hmm.
to. We're trying to help you come up with ways to make it stand out against the
Hmm.
competition, and so these are some examples of ways not to make it stand out.
Well, yeah, and just to say that again too is that my big thing is I want it to be clean, and every one of these looks very clean, very well taken care of. Decorated very well. Nothing feels old and dirty at all. And if I saw a different front picture on these, if I saw one of their second, third, fourth pictures in any of these houses, I would have clicked, kept scrolling, and like he said, we would have easily stayed at any of those. So, there's nothing wrong with those first pictures. They're fine. They are showing the property or showing the feature of the property, but they don't need to be the first picture. Make that first picture one that just whets their appetite and makes someone to keep going. Because remember, you're in competition with other properties, and just you need to do what makes yours stand out. And that's a great way to do it with a good interior, picture to start with.